it's slightly concerning to me that everything always seems to lead back to Jalen Hurts supposedly being the problem, right? Like the implosion last year, it was, well, Jesus, Jalen can't throw in the middle of the field. Oh my God, Jalen and Nick Sirianni, there's this fundamental problem that's broken between these two guys. Then this year it's, oh my God, Jalen's turned the ball over. Now we got to change the entire offense for his limitations. Then it became, oh my God, Jalen's stealing touchdowns from Saquon. He would be the MVP if he wasn't stealing all these touchdowns. He's a touchdown thief. Now it's, oh man, Jalen, they're just not throwing the ball. I called it I think I called it an exitless maze of quarterback cannibalism. Like they are going to cannibalize this guy no matter what it takes, no matter how many games they win. Eventually we're going to get to game manager. He's just a game manager. Anybody could step in and do the stuff he can do. Like eventually this, God forbid, he gets a really good backup. It's crazy to me.
It is crazy. This whole story is crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh if they end up going to the Super Bowl, because it'll be a wonderful week leading up to it, asking everybody about Jalen Hurts being the crux of this problem, and does he need to win this Super Bowl to prove he's a worthy quarterback?
The funny thing is, C-Rob, I think if we're talking about the different tone of conversation, if we're honest for a second, when a quarterback is super likable, when a quarterback is just the sort of guy you want pitching Doritos to you, and like the sort of guy that you just think that you'd walk into a bar and have a drink with, all of a sudden we just cover that quarterback with so much more benefit of the doubt. Like we really do. Like Jalen Hurts is just not a dynamic personality, and as such, in the minds of some, he's just sort of labeled as not particularly likable because he's not that guy that comes out and is just he's not Peyton Manning, he's not going to host SNL, right? And at some point, I don't really care about any of that. I care about can my quarterback win me a bunch of football games, and by God, Jalen Hurts sure wins a bunch of football games. But you're right, like C-Rob, to your core, you are right about this. Like because he doesn't have that aw shucks likability of being a product placement. I can sell anybody anything. I do think that he's covered a little bit differently.
I don't know. It's just crazy. I mean, you go back to college, loses his job to Tua, right? Has to transfer out of Alabama to go and finish his career. I don't know what it is about Hurts and his path as a quarterback that has led to so much. I guess maybe I'd look back at like early era Lamar. We loved Lamar, but then what happens? We start nitpicking like, oh, come on, is he really a passer? Like, he's just, is he ever going to break through? And what did it take? It just took time. Lamar eventually, and even now, I swear to God, even now, like I still eventually let the Ravens are in not the greatest patch, obviously, since the start. And you still hear, yeah, I don't know, he's still got passing limitations. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me.
He's going to be like a 3-time MVP. Oh, whatever. He still stinks as a passer. Jalen Hurts is Dak Prescott. That's what it is. Like Dak Prescott was second in the MVP voting last year, right? And the moment Dak Prescott struggles at all, it's, oh my God, Dak stinks. Get rid of him. That's just the markets. I think playing quarterback in that market, you need to be Brady, Manning, Mahomes, whatever. You need to be just about perfect because they will just pick you apart at every turn. The fan base will do it. It's just the way those two teams are. New York teams too, same way.
I also think though, Frank, we cover the middle third of the NFL in quarterbacks. We cover quarterback, whatever your ranking is. Off the top of my head, I'm not sitting here making a ranking. But we cover quarterbacks ranked like the 8th best quarterback to the 15th, somewhere in that range. We cover them far differently, right? Because they're not quite good enough to be Mahomes, so it's not an easy conversation. But they're not bad enough to just say they suck. So then all they do is win a bunch of football games, many of them, and we're like, yeah, but that's not good enough until you suddenly don't have a Jalen Hurts, and then you're sitting there saying, by God, like there are a bunch of teams that would kill to have a Jalen Hurts.
It's called the Kirk Cousins zone.
Yeah, 100%.
Kirk's getting his
8 to 15.
Matthew Stafford. Look at what he's done this year. He's had some great games. He's had some awful games. If he played in Philly, they'd be killing Matthew Stafford. They'd be like, oh my God, go back to the Miami game. He's terrible. Let's get rid of it. Like, it's just markets. And yes, you're right. The middle class.
We're still killing Tua.
I don't get that. I'm never going to get that. I'm never going to understand that.
We're sitting there killing Tua, but we're not killing Herbert. We're not killing Trevor Lawrence yet. Like, it's crazy. Like, but once you are in that middle pack, boy,